is definitely on the northern edge of this. So they're tightening up that polygon a little bit for us, Anna, which we certainly appreciate. Take just a second to look at radar, and then I'll let you tell me what's going on over there in Highland County since you've been looking at that. If you're in Cincinnati, no doubt you are still hearing tons of thunder. There is still some very, very heavy rain. We're definitely concerned about all of the flash flood warnings in the area, many of which are still continuing as we continue to see some very heavy rains rolling across the area. These are not just garden variety flash flood warnings. Those are flash flood warnings with considerable danger. That said, we also have a severe thunderstorm warning with possible tornado threats in it. Anna, what are you seeing inside of that storm?
Yeah, we are seeing central Highland County and south central Ohio seeing that stronger thunderstorm warning right now. You can see that big polygon behind me with the hashed lines. That's going to be the severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it. They also are seeing that flash flood warning. We've seen a significant amount of rain in this area, and this is going to continue. You can see how much lightning is embedded in this as well. Very strong storms. This is 60-mile-per-hour winds. You're seeing 3/4 of an inch size hail in these as well. These are moving east at 50 miles an hour, so a very quick moving storm with a lot of rain, lightning. You can expect damage to trees and power lines along this area. And areas of impact again are going to be that Hillsborough area in Highland County, Rainsboro, seeing some of that heavier rain right now. 124 Marshall, you're seeing that in North Uniontown as well, heading towards Carmel, Beaver Mill, and as we move towards this more center portion of town, there's just more rain on the way, and you can see that Mount Orb area is going to see the next storm there, and then there's another storm, Owensville, Newtonsville, Union Township. Again, more rounds of rain. I also have on here a few of those damage that has happened. Here's what it's looking like. Again, we're going to click on some of these. A few downed trees. You can see the icons there. This is in Florence. Multiple downed trees along several large tree limbs are down from a tornado that was possible earlier tonight. So that is one of the damage that we're seeing right now. Again, that's in Boone County, and so we're seeing quite a few of those warning tags on the radar right now from places that we're seeing those heavier downpours, those storms, even that tornado that was possible down in Florence earlier this morning. High water reported. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of rainfall, and we were seeing that for quite some time in this area. And if we zoom out, we have those flash flood warnings, you know, across the entire central portion of our viewing area. And so if we zoom out here on the map, you'll be able to see that whole area there in the middle, seeing those flash flood warnings. Hillsborough, again, still seeing that tornado, possible severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds, a lot of rain, but we're still monitoring this tornado warning that is down to the south near the Ohio River, entering Vivi, that heavier rainfall right now, heading towards Warsaw. We've seen that tornado warning be continue to be chopped down a little bit. This is going to end at 4:15, so we're continuing to monitor this as it's heading eastward. Cotton Township seeing some of that rain. This could be heading towards Patriots, just outside of the polygon here. Lots of lightning, and there's more rain on the way as we're continuing to watch the radar here. If we zoom out, you can see how much rain, how much lightning is on the way over the next several hours here. It just continues to come in around Petersburg, Louisville, seeing some of that near 71. And again, that's going to continue to move into the area. We can change over here to a couple of our other products to see how the rotation is doing. We're not seeing a lot being picked up on any of our debris detection, but I know a few minutes ago we were looking at a little bit of a tighter rotation on our velocity. And if we zoom in here, you can still see, you know, the greens and red at the back of our polygon, and that's what we're going to be watching out for, that rotation that's coming in. We can zoom into current rotation and see what's going on here, really close to Vivi now, so take shelter if you're in Warsaw. Again, this is heading your way, heading eastward right now, and you can see that rotation that is currently happening. It says that it's weak, but any rotation could be affecting you guys, so make sure you're taking cover right now. Again, Vivi, the 129, Mount Sterling, 156 area, seeing that tornado warning right now as it's heading along the Ohio River and heading eastward right now. That's what I am seeing on the current radar right now. And again, the past rotation with this storm is there. We saw even a slightly above that weak category for our rotation, so definitely not something to mess around with. It has a history of rotation and is continuing to rotate as it's heading towards VV, Warsaw, 101, 42, right along 71, and then you can see 129 will be impacted by this as well. Cotton Township heading towards Patriot and 250. So.
It's definitely, when you showed that past rotation, you know, this storm has been powerful for quite a while, and that is one of the main reasons that we have seen this tornado warning issued. We can't say enough. We've just been doing this for hours and hours, and so many of these storms have produced damage. I'm looking at storm reports right now out of Boone County. This was at like midnight we were talking about it, which is definitely looking like it will be a confirmed tornado once they get to daylight and look at all this. So we are in an environment right now that is incredibly capable of producing these storms with rotation. So we're going to take all of these warnings very, very seriously, you know, when we're looking at this. Vivi, you are about to get a very strong storm with potential rotation moving in across 56. That is literally where we are looking at the couplets of concern right now. You heard Anna mention Cotton Township. This is north of Carrollton. And this is on the verge of crossing 56, moving literally right along the river area. We are just north and west of 71 and headed toward Warsaw. But the impressive part here is, first of all, Vivi's getting some very, very heavy rain. So there's, you know, a rain-wrapped tornado you don't see anyway, and it's dark, and nobody should be looking for anything. You should definitely be looking for shelter in the lowest level of your home and away from walls and windows. But we are looking at the extent that this rain stretches all the way back, so that we're going to be in for hours of rain here into Owen and Grant counties, Carroll and Gallatin counties as well. You are really just getting started with some of these heavy rains. Now, I'm hoping some of this line sags south of Owen and Grant counties pretty quickly here, and hopefully we'll be able to miss some of what we're seeing back to the west. But there really is a ton of moisture out here right now. All right, before I hand this back to Anna, I'm going to take another look at these couplets, because again, we're always concerned anytime we have active tornado warnings. And yep, you can see. So now they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of the rest of the line, which is certainly prudent, and they've issued it with the fact that we're tracking a tornado back here, a radar indicated tornado, and what will happen is it moves into southern Kenton and into Grant and Owen counties as well. So Weather Service getting very, very proactive right now, which I certainly appreciate due to the history of what we've been going through this evening. You know, definitely a high impact outbreak. So that is a severe thunderstorm warning with a possible tornado. The actual problematic cell is up here practically in Vivi right now, but this environment is so incredibly capable of little rotations all over the place. So that's where we're seeing Boone, Gallatin, Grant, Owen, Kenton, and Switzerland part of that expanded rotation. And I'm not seeing much down to the south where that thunderstorm warning has been issued. In my mind, that is simply them being very proactive. What do you think?
Oh yeah, there's just so much more rain to come. And if we look at, you know, the wide picture of this radar here, you can see just how much rain is on the way in the next several hours. We'll switch over here to all watches and warnings, and you'll be able to see just all of that lightning, all of the rain that is on the way towards the tri-state right now. So the National Weather Service is being very proactive in issuing those severe thunderstorm warning with those tornado possible tags on top of it, because it does have that history of rotation. We're seeing that tornado warning again right over VV right now. Carroll, Gallatin, Switzerland County has that tornado warning for about 20 more minutes. So that is radar indicated. And then we have that severe thunderstorm warning that has that tornado possible tag as this continues to track to the east, heading over 71, heading towards 75. And you'll continue to see this track through northern Kentucky. And we were talking about this a little while ago. Northern Kentucky hasn't seen a lot of that rainfall over the last several hours. It was mostly up to the north, but now they're getting this portion of the storm where that tornado is possible for Grant, Kenton, and Owen County. That's where that tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning is right now. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, again, hail size 3/4 of an inch is possible, and we're continuing to monitor this tornado warning that we have in Carroll, Gallatin, and Switzerland County. If we can we'll switch things over to, our debris indicator to see if we have any of that rotation, to see if this is on the ground, to see if anything is getting lofted up into the air. And it doesn't look like anything significant, but definitely that rotation is still there. And you can see that here on our velocity map where those greens and reds are right over VV right now. So if you're in Warsaw, make sure you're taking shelter. Stay in shelter if you're in VV as this continues to track to the east around 50 miles an hour, 42, 35, 56, all seeing the stronger portion of this storm right now as it's heading again towards Warsaw over the Ohio River here towards 275. And you can see going along the interstate here 71. So we're watching out for this. Again, that tornado warning is out right now for these counties. You can see that rotation. It just updated where we have the greens, we have the reds, and they're kind of intertwining there. That's where we're watching for this. This is going right outside of VV now, so it is continuing to move. Carroll, Gallatin, Switzerland County, make sure everyone's being proactive, taking shelter. If we turn back now to the bigger picture, we still have those flash flood warnings all throughout the 275 loop. So as you're getting up this morning, heading to work, that could be a problem. So make sure you're taking your time going to work, watching out for that. We're seeing an updated severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag for that Highland County. It has exited Hillsborough, and now it's more on the most eastern portion of Highland County. We are seeing that severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag. 60-mile-per-hour winds continue, seeing that 3/4 inch size hail in that, and that is expected to exit around 4:15. So a lot to watch out for here in the tri-state, and there is more to come. Like I mentioned a little while ago, if we change over to this, you can see how much lightning is on the way. You can see they are continuing those severe thunderstorm warnings with the tornado possible tag right now, and those are being updated. You can see that flashing there a little bit. Those are being updated and continuing to push into the tri-state over the next several hours. You can just see how much rain is on the way here. It's still stretching across all of Indiana. Parts of Illinois still seeing this rain that we're going to continue to see as this is tracking eastward, but slowly drooping to the south. So we're watching out for that. And again, this tornado warning still in effect for Carroll, Gallatin, Switzerland County until 4:15. So we have about 17 minutes here until that has expired. We're still seeing some rotation with that. We can change over to current rotation and see where this is located right now. And you can see that is just to the south of VV for the current rotation on this map here. It has that history of rotating. We saw some cells rotate earlier today closer to Florence, and now we're seeing this round after round of rain coming in, this long line, and that has a history of rotation. So definitely something to monitor, be aware of, take cover if you're in this line of storms. Northern Kentucky is starting to see that rain now that they haven't seen for the beginning portion of this storm system, but now it is tracking down to the south, and you can see that is really taking effect here. Very heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning on the way. We're seeing those flash flood warnings for the entire central portion of our viewing area, so that is going to be very significant this morning. Like Stephanie mentioned earlier, we're really not going to be able to see the damage and see how much flooding is really out there until daybreak here. So we do have another couple of hours, about 2 hours until sunrise, and we'll be able to see a lot better outside. But for now, we're dealing with the tornado warnings, the flash flood warnings, and just reminding you guys to be extra careful. Stay indoors if you can, stay sheltered if you can. If you're in Carroll, Gallatin, Switzerland County, and if you're up in the eastern portion of Hillsborough, Highland County, still seeing that severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag. Very strong wind gust, and again, 3/4 of an inch sized hail out there. The stronger portion is starting to exit the tri-state, but they are continuing to see that round after round of rainfall right where those flash flood warnings are occurring, and you can see multiple flash flood warnings across the tri-state. That's Brown, Claremont, Grant, Owen, Dearborn, Ripley, Hamilton, Kenton, Campbell, all seeing flash flood warnings. You can see that up in Franklin as well. Those are all expected to last for a decent amount of time. The one in Franklin, not a lot of rainfall seeing there right now, so that's set to expire here in the next 30 minutes. And then if they could get a break up there.
Yeah, that is for sure. All right, I'll give you a break for just a second here. I've got the couplets pulled up. Again, we're still under an active tornado warning in Carroll, Gallatin, and Switzerland counties, portions of them anyway. Vivi, the concerning cell has pushed. You're still seeing some very heavy rain, I know. It is pushed just east of you. It's right along 1039 right now, headed toward 42. So be extra cautious in the Patriot area. Warsaw, this is going to virtually cross over you along 101 and 42. Glencoe, extra alert there as well. You are likely to be hearing tornado sirens in these counties. This is a storm we're taking very seriously, simply because we have been watching spin up tornadoes across all of our area, literally for the last 6 hours practically. So any one of these thunderstorms is capable of spinning into a tornado. So that is why so many warnings are being issued, and we want everybody to be taking this very, very seriously. I'm going to switch and set this into motion for just a second so you can see the amount of rain that is moving across the area. So you can see as it's going to drop into the picture here, it's coming with so much thunder and lightning that is going to continue to be something that is a big weather producer. You're seeing that now, excuse me, moving into Gallatin County and the very northern edge of Owen County. So that's why we're seeing the warnings there. But when I zoom out, this is still stretching all the way back across southern Indiana into the northern portions of Kentucky there. So fortunately, we're starting to see this line itself sag a little bit south. That may not end up being great news for Owen and Grant counties, but I do think it's going to end up being good news for the rest of our area, because once this line drops south, we are probably going to be a little bit more in the clear, but definitely not the case right now. We are ringed in warnings. The one we are always most concerned about, whoops, made that one go too fast, didn't I? The one we are most concerned about is off in, and I'm going to have to toss this back to you.
Yeah,
my computer just decided it has too much data.
Yeah, we can come back to me. I do have another update on the big picture here. We do have another severe thunderstorm warning that is for Brown, Claremont, Highland County, heading towards Hillsborough, where they just saw that heavy downpours. That severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag has just exited the Hillsborough area, heading towards the more eastern portion of Highland County. Now they are seeing another severe thunderstorm warning. This is expected to last until 4:45. So we have 42 minutes of the severe thunderstorm warning here. They have 60-mile-per-hour winds with this 3/4 inch size hail. That is going to continue. So this is what we're watching out for. Again, that heavier downpour heading towards Mount Orb right now. You can see some of those heavy downpours right now. We'll zoom in to tell you where you're seeing those. You're seeing those near Needful, heading towards New Market. you're seeing some of those heavy downpours. Again, Marshall is seeing that tornado possible tag still on that sinking spring as well. And this is near Harriet 124, Lincolnville, Prospect Road. You're seeing, again, that severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag. And then we have the new severe thunderstorm warning on deck for Brown, Claremont, Highland County. That is radar indicated, and that's going to last until 4:45 this morning. If we go back down to the tornado warning, because we still do have that active tornado warning down to the south, you can see that still affecting, actually just went away. So we are no longer in a tornado warning right now. We are just seeing that severe thunderstorm warning in Grant, Kenton, Owen County, radar indicated tornado possible tags, and you're seeing that threat as considerable damage out there. Wind speed 70 miles an hour. You can see the little bit of a bowing feature that is very significant. That's just that indicator that you could be seeing some stronger winds. Damaging wind gusts are going to be included with this. This is not set to expire until 4:30, so you can expect very strong winds as these continue to push in. 3/4 inch size hail is possible, but that tornado warning has ended. We are still seeing some of those tornado possible tags with those severe thunderstorm warnings across the tri-state. That's going to be in Hillsborough right now and down to the south, just to the south of Carroll and Gallatin County. You're seeing that severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag. Again, that is down to the south. We're seeing that as well as in Grant, Kenton, and Owen County. But I think we will start to wrap this up as we move into the next couple of minutes.
I've got a couple updates. Sorry to interrupt you. I know you've been busy watching all sorts of different things. I want to move to a live traffic picture that we've got. This is something that we have been talking about during the overnight hours. Some problems on I-75. We had thought it was open and was moving, but it is still shut down. So this is going to be extremely important for the morning commute. And I know now we're getting to the point, it's early enough that people are going to start getting up and finding out what's going on across the area. I-75 is shut down. That is at exit 6 and exit 8. I'm trying to remember if somebody in my ear remind me exactly what the exit is. Was that Mitchell? Was that correct? I'm sorry, I've been up a long time. But it is shut down at exit 6 and 8. There is absolutely no movement there. That is our storm tracker. It is stuck in it as well. So we are not exactly sure why. We were told that there was standing water, submerged, and vehicles that just simply can't move, and the interstate is shut down. So I know we had a couple of staff members that were getting ready to leave here. Maps routed them up I-71. So you absolutely cannot plan on traveling north of the city on I-75 right now. And of course, traffic is going to be a major story as we get closer to the morning rush hour. So I know a lot of folks just waking up and joining us either because of storms or because you're starting your day. Before we take a break here, Anna, if you want to go ahead and start working on joining us at 4:30, I know that's your plan. I'll do a quick wrap up of what we are seeing now. Here we're taking a live look at radar. Still steady to light rain in downtown Cincinnati right now. I have been hearing rumbles of thunder the entire time we've been talking. As we look over to the west, still a lot of thunderstorm activity popping up there in the Mount Orab area and stretching all the way over toward Hillsborough and points east. No active severe thunderstorm concerns right now. Is that a true statement, or are we still under one? Let me get back to where I want to be here. No, we're no more severe storms. Okay, good. So now we're just dealing with the flooding. Oh, not quite true. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning there hanging out in Highland. That's still 4:15, so we've got about 7 more minutes, and we will be clear of that. And then down in Brown, Claremont, and Highland, we've got now this severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45. So just know that we do still have the heavy rains coming down. We're not looking at any tornado concerns right now, but we are looking at multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that can continues down in Grant, Kenton, and Owen counties, and also, as we mentioned, that section in Highland County. So let me just switch back over to radar because I know it's getting confusing with all those polygons. We all understand what this means. Very, very heavy rain. Two separate areas of concern, and both have the potential to train, which means that we keep seeing the rain. That's exactly what we're seeing here from Claremont into Brown and over into Highland. This is called training. These areas have already seen 2 and 3 inches of rain, and they are still seeing the very, very heavy rains going down. The other area of concern is down here where we no longer have a tornado warning, but we do have a very powerful severe thunderstorm, and it is going to nip right across the bottom of Boone and Kenton County. So Independence, get ready. South of you, down near Walton, you're going to be getting a lot of heavy rain. And really, for the first time tonight, we are seeing that very heavy rain moving into Owen County, moving into Grant County. It will eventually be moving into Pendleton and Bracken counties. This is all part of a line that's sagging east. I know I certainly hope that this continues to sag south quickly, and that will get our southern counties out of this a little faster. But the good news is there hasn't been a lot of action down south yet, so flooding is not going to be such a major concern with these southern counties just yet. Flooding definitely is a major concern up here in the metro area and stretching to the east. While I have a couple minutes here, I want to give Anna a chance to reset her world. I want to take a look at some of the rain totals, because if you are just waking up, you are probably thinking, what in the world was going on when I was sleeping? And it has literally been raining very, very hard since 10 p.m. This is our 6-hour rainfall accumulation, and there is a swath of 3+ inches. Look at how it's literally in a straight line. That is the definition of training, where it is like rain is on a railroad track, and it simply moves in the same direction over and over and over. So this is why you're going to start to hear some of the flooding reports. And while we're looking at that rain accumulation, I'm going to see if I can read a couple of them off here. Most of this, let me get over to the data feed here. Local storm reports of flash flooding are coming in everywhere. What's happening now is the crews are out, different roads. I'll just start to read some of them out. I-75 still closed up with high water. So literally that traffic that we were showing you on I-75 is not moving until that water drains. It may be hours. So, you know, avoiding I-75 northbound north of downtown going to be a big part of the morning commute. Franklin County, Bullfork Road closed. Let's see what else I've got. I can shout out things. Rushing water near the Hill Forest House Museum in Dearborn. Flash floods, roof damage in Boone. We are on the verge of having a confirmed tornado in Boone. I don't have much doubt about that from everything I've been reading. So you can just see that if you're just waking up and catching up, it has been an incredibly active overnight. That's always a sign when your evening crew is still on the air when the morning show begins, that we are obviously having a ton of weather. What we're waiting for now is this to sag to the south. This is the line that we're waiting to see how much wet weather we get out of. I like the fact that Vivi cleared from the heaviest rain. That shows me that we're starting to get a southern sag here. So, Anna, I think that's going to be some pretty good news for you this morning. Owen and Grant still dealing with severe weather, but this entire Lang is sagging. Okay, so we do have some information county that Dearborn County is officially reporting a tornado, and unfortunately, they're also confirming 1 injury. So we will get some more information on that. I'll be very honest, I cannot remember which hour that Dearborn County tornado was, but I guarantee you that we were tracking it and talking about it, and now we are starting to learn that there were some injuries. There have been some damage to homes and apartments, trees down, unfortunately. Sometimes injuries there become inevitable. All right, I'm going to take another look at these warnings and make sure that I am comfortable leaving us with where we are right now. We are getting more information about that. Let's see what we got going on here. We still have an active tornado warning in Adams County. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and keep chatting about that. I see that right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Northeastern Adams County, and then moving out of our area. That one is until 4:45. This is the same storm that we tracked across Highland County, still capable of producing a tornado. That is unconfirmed. It is radar indicated at this point. Let me throw what we call an impact tag on that and make sure that I am not seeing. Yeah, they're just looking at this cell right here. So let's go ahead and zoom on in here. And this is what we're seeing. So they've simply extended what was a severe thunderstorm warning now down into an active tornado warning in this area of Adams County. Apologies that I'm starting to lose my voice. Let's go ahead and zoom back into the couplet so we can look at it a little more closely. So the area of concern is right along 220. So Waverly City, we need you to take shelter. Sunfish Township, it is just to your north, but I would still be more comfortable if you were in a secure area of your home. Head to the basement, get to an interior room. Camp, you're going to get a lot of thunder, lightning, and gusty winds, but that rotation does appear to be north of you and is moving to the east. It is moving east at 50 miles per hour. That's great news. The faster these move, the quicker we can be done with this dangerous weather. So if you are anywhere from Chillicothe all the way down to Waverly City along 23, please take shelter. That's US 23. Right now, the most dangerous rotation is literally sitting on top of 220, but it is headed toward 23 and Waverly City. Good news is we're not overly populous out here. Huntington certainly wouldn't be a bad idea. I know this is to your south, but it is very powerful. Eventually, assuming it doesn't hold together, but Wellston, I know this is far east of our area, but we still are going to track this all the way to the edge of Adams County. But I know the reason that they put the warning out on this is definitely because of Waverly City there, and I think that's definitely the area that they're most concerned about. Waverly, Piketon, Kincaid Springs.
Yes, and they've included portions of Adams County in this, and it's a very slim section of Adams County. But I think you're right. I think it's closer to that Sunfish Township area. So if you're around there, that's where we're seeing the rotation right now. We can move over on our debris detector and you can see that here, Sunfish Township, seeing that debris signature. So this could likely be a tornado on the ground right now. If you're near that area of Sunfish Township, Laurel Ridge Road, near Idaho. Again, this is heading towards the east right now, so we do have that severe thunderstorm warning right on the outside of it, that tornado warning with that debris signature with that velocity couplet. Again, you can see that here where the yellows, reds, and greens kind of intersect right here. That's where that rotation is currently. Near that Beaver Ridge Road, Elm Grove, you can see that near 32, as well as we zoom in really close to this velocity couplet here. You can see Chineth Fork Road, also very near there. Take shelter now if you are near 104, 124, heading towards 23, Van Meter, Piketon, seeing again this rotation right now heading towards your area. Again, Sunfish Township, that was just right over you just a second ago, and we're seeing that tornado warning that is going to be in effect here. And it is now observed. Yeah.
And I want you to keep talking and keep zooming. I was going to say you saw the observed. All right, that's what I wanted to make sure that you saw as well, that is an observed tornado. So absolutely critical to take shelter.
Yes, make sure you're on the most interior portion of your house. Elm Grove, this is heading straight toward you. It is now an observed tornado. Tornado warning will be in effect until 4:45. So if you're heading on 32, if you're near Idaho, Beavers Ridge Road, again, seeing this rotation very close to Elm Grove right now. So take shelter immediately. There's no time to go anywhere but your basement, your safe place. Make sure there's not a lot of windows there.
Anna, I'm going to interrupt you. We have a new tornado warning, radar indicated for Grant and Pendleton.
Okay, I see that here. Yes, that new tornado warning, it's right outside of where that severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag was, right where we were seeing this tornado earlier. Again, the storm has that history of rotation, and we're seeing that now. Grant, Pendleton County seeing that rotation. Their radar indicated, so we have that tornado warning. That's going to last until 4:45.
I think they're out ahead of it. It's the couplet just to the left of the box. If I had to... they're just moved to the edge. They're doing a nice job right now, getting a step ahead. This is great for helping us keep you safe. So Anna's got it zoomed in very, very well. At the very back edge of that flashing box, that is the couplet, what we call it, the cell that is capable of producing rotation. This one is radar indicated, which means there is no sighting of it, but we have been doing this for 6 hours for various spin-up tornadoes. So when we zoom in to look at who needs to be concerned, Williamstown for sure. And this is about to cross I-75. So that is definitely, I think, why we got out ahead of this one. And I'm very pleased and that we can warn everybody. Sherman, Dry Ridge, Delia, it's just north of you, headed to Knoxville, but this will be crossing I-75. This is similar to what we saw up in Boone County earlier, where it crossed the interstate and quite honestly caused a lot of damage. We are now learning in the Florence area because these are populated areas around I-75. North Cut, you are all in the path of what appears to be a storm with rotation. All right, Anna, I know you're looking at things over there too. All of this is, the latest one is in effect until 4:45. They're doing a good job. Switzerland County now out of the severe thunderstorm warning. Staying in effect for Kenton, Boone, Grant, and where we're not under the tornado warning, which obviously makes sense since it's still a very, 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 very strong storm. I'm going to switch over to radar real quick here and look at some of the lightning for you. Ann, are you seeing anything else we should be concerned about there? Oh, they've switched over to me. That's fine. All right, so here's what we're looking at. Just an enormous swath of really, really heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. Definitely punishing Owen County right now, but getting ready to move into Grant County. So that is where we are seeing the severe thunderstorm warning continuing and then the tornado warning picking up. So I'm going to go ahead and add these warnings so you can see exactly what's happening out there. Those are all severe thunderstorm warnings with the tornado warning overlaid for Grant and Pendleton counties. So we're kind of on the leading edge of the tornado as it is going to continue to move to the east. So what we of course do is continually look at both areas. You can see how the couplet that we're concerned about is the very back corner of this polygon. They're issuing this way out ahead because there's no reason to believe that this isn't going to continue to be a storm that at least causes some type of damage. This is getting ready to move over I-75 at the Dry Ridge exit area. I apologize, I do not know my southern exits that well to know exactly what's happening there. That's 22, where 22 crosses I-75 right now. A very dangerous storm is moving, which means you need to take shelter in that area. You need to take shelter in Dry Ridge Road down to 25, Barnes Road, a little bit farther south, definitely still a concern. And then across 467 to Knoxville, 2362 as it goes into Knoxville. North Cut, you are all in the path of a storm capable of producing a tornado. Potentially already we are seeing what looks like it could be rotation. So you need to be in the basement. No doubt sirens will be going off if they are not already in Grant County. We need you to take those seriously. Just to the north earlier tonight in Florence, we've got confirmed tornadic activity. So this is a continuation of what we've been seeing all night long. There's damage all across the tri-state. Ripley County reporting damage, Franklin County reporting damage, Boone County confirmed damage. So we want everybody in the path of these storms to take heed. Head to the basement. I know it's early. I know you don't want to get the kids up. It's for everyone's safety at this point. We definitely need you to get everybody up and go downstairs if you can do so. If not, interior rooms, bathrooms, closets, all work. Go forth, headed toward you as well. Going to back into the actual couplet. hasn't given me an update yet, but its next update is going to take it straight over I-75. So if for some reason you know somebody that's commuting or driving south this morning, give them a heads up there. It's still very, very dark. You are driving into a very dangerous storm, although I will say there is so much lightning out there right now. Hopefully that has already got people taking heed. The good news, Anna, is these storms are dropping south pretty quick.
Yes, and I have eyes on the other tornado warning we are watching in Adams County. It's just barely on the edge, that tornado warning, but the tornado is well off to the east near that Waverly City area. Around 4:12, that's when the tornado producing storm was near Kiddeck Springs, and it was moving east at 50 miles an hour. Again, radar was confirmed. Radar shows that debris was in the air with this, so this is more than likely going to be a confirmed tornado later on. The impacts, again, that flying debris around the Waverly area. If we zoom in here to this, again, right outside of Adams County, that's what we were watching for, that rotation that we were seeing earlier heading towards Waverly City now. So that's what we were watching out for. I was tracking the debris signature with this one just a couple of minutes ago, and you can see there's definitely maybe some debris getting thrown into the air there. It could just be that spinning up right now around this area, but you can really see where that tornado is on the map right now. If we move over to where that other tornado warning is right now, it's kind of clustered over here, so it's a little harder to see that debris signature on that portion of the map, but you can see that on that big picture there, that tornado warning. Radar indicated 4:45 a.m. is when this is expected to expire. Grant, Pendleton County are being affected by this. Williamstown, you're almost in the clear from that stronger portion of the storm. Dry Ridge almost in the clear as well. Wait a couple more minutes, give it about 20 more minutes to continue to move over I-75 here as this pushes towards the east, towards 1054, towards Falmouth, towards the Bachelor's area as well. Bachelor's Rest, Four Oaks. Again, this storm is heading your way right now. It does have that tornado warning on it. It is moving pretty quickly. Again, it is passing over I-75 right now. We can click on the storm here to get a little bit more information for you guys. Make sure you're taking shelter if you're in northeastern Grant County. If you're in central Pendleton County, this is going to continue until 4:45 this morning, and you can see it moving now. That severe thunderstorm capable of producing the tornado. We saw that rotation in this storm has that history of rotation again that Stephanie was mentioning. We have been tracking this all morning long, and she has been here all night long tracking these as well. It is going to be very dangerous. It has those strong winds. It includes, again, I-75 in Kentucky between mile markers 154 and 161. So make sure you are taking cover if you're in if you're heading anywhere, I-75 right now, stay away from that. Make sure you're staying home and off the roads, because we are, again, tracking out this dangerous storm with that tornado warning on it. And we are continuing just to see round after round of rain heading towards northern Kentucky. Here's what it's looking like on the big picture radar right now. This has a lot of lightning included in it. You can barely even see the counties on the map. We have damage reported out there, a lot of downed trees. Those flash flood warnings for the central portion of the viewing area, and we're still watching out for the tornado warning that is up on the edge of Adams County right now as well. So a lot of hazards out there on the roadways this morning. If you're heading out, again, a significant amount of rainfall, flash flood warnings. We're seeing that active tornado warning in Grant and Pendleton County right now. And again, this is continuing to track towards the east around 50 miles an hour. So a fast moving storm. We can change over to the velocity here to see that rotation, and you can still see some rotation there. Again, just to the east of Williamstown, Northcutt, you can see that's updating here as it's heading towards the east. So if you are near Knoxville, near Dotton, you're seeing that rotation right now in your area. It is very broad right now, so definitely loosening up a little bit from that current rotation we were seeing earlier. And if we zoom in You can see where that is near, again, Williamstown, where that current rotation is. And like we mentioned, that current and past rotation is significant because we're watching the same storm produce tornado warning after tornado warning, and it is going to continue to track through the tri-state over the next several hours here. So we're watching out for these strong to severe storms. I showed you guys how there's just miles of storms left stretching over most of Indiana heading towards the area. These still have severe thunderstorm warnings attached to them and heading towards us. They will be dipping slightly down to the south. That is the good news here. Over the next couple of hours here, we will start to clear out, but for now we do have very dangerous storms on our hands. Again, the tornado warning that is active right now in Grant, Pendleton County, expected to expire in 15 minutes. You can see they just updated this. They have now added the severe thunderstorm warning for Bracken, Grant, Pendleton counties. That is radar indicated considerable damage is expected with this 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. You can see that's right outside of that tornado warning. 3/4 inch size hail expected there. And just a very strong system. I can turn on the lightning here and you can just see, again, a ton of lightning. This is crossed over I-75, that heavier portion now just to the east of that. And you can see 27, 10, 22, seeing that heavy rain. You're starting to see the stronger system push into the area, and that tornado warning will remain in effect for the next 15 minutes. Up to the south, we are clear now in Adams County from that tornado warning that has pushed off to the east. So now we just have the one tornado warning down in northern Kentucky right now. Again, Grant, Pendleton. It has passed over I-75, Williamstown, and heading into the Falmouth area. Butler County, Butler, you're seeing some of that heavy rain, some lightning in the area. You're not included in this tornado warning, but definitely could be seeing some considerable damage. Is definitely radar indicated strong storms out there. So just be on the lookout. Take shelter if you are in the Falmouth area, because again, that's where we're seeing those heavy downpours. We're seeing that tornado warning head towards your area, and you have just a couple of minutes here to get up, get the kids up, head to your safe space in your house, an interior room, the bathroom, a basement, whatever you have, because this is an active tornado warning, again, that is heading towards your area right now. Stephanie, I don't know if you have any updates for us.
Yeah, I'm going to just check in here. I'll trade spots with you and let you work on your computer, because I know that she is getting ready to start the morning show here. Good morning. I'm not usually here in the morning, am I? The night crew is still here because we have literally been tracking tornadoes for 5 hours across the tri-state. So this is an incredibly serious situation, not because we're still seeing the tornadoes, of course, but also because the amount of damage that we're likely to uncover. And as you head out the door this morning, I want you to be incredibly careful. No doubt we have power lines down. We have tree damage. We have home damage. We have business damage. The roads are going to be impassable in many, many areas. So please, I know it is still dark for at least another hour and a half. If you cannot leave in the dark, that would be fabulous, because then we're going to continue to have to worry about the various hazards that are out there. So to continue on just before, so we don't leave anybody hanging down in Pendleton County, I believe that tornado warning just got extended into Pendleton. It does until 4:45 as we're continuing to look at that. Anna, I'm hijacking your computer here for just a second, as we are looking at that storm continuing to march to the east. I'm going to let Anna take over for most of that tracking, but we did just want to tell everybody we've been here all night long working to keep you safe. Now we're going to give you the first alert that heading out the door this morning is going to be no easy task. We just are ready to handle the traffic. We have closures on I-75. We have standing water on absolutely all of our roadways, many of which are impassable. And quite honestly, we aren't going to know just how bad it is until the crews get out there, make their assessments, and then report back to us. So it is certainly safest if everybody stays put this morning. Let's let the crews get out there and see exactly what's going on. The first responders, they're going to start reporting into us. We'll, of course, be reporting it out to you. But we don't want anybody running into live power lines, trees that are down. It has been a very, very rough last 6 hours, and we don't want any of our morning viewers to head out and run into into any problems there. That said, we've still got about 15 more minutes of an active tornado warning, so I'm going to let Anna go ahead and manage that. Other than that, I don't want to take her computer too far from her, but most of the rest of this line has now sagged south of the tri-state. So we're going to continue to watch this through Grant and Pendleton counties. I'm not so sure that we aren't going to need to talk about Bracken and Robinson coming up here. But other than that, the severe weather risk does definitely appear to be lessening. That said, we have flash flood warnings across most of the metro area, and that is we're going to run into some serious problems for the morning commute. All right, Anna, I hope I gave you a chance to catch your breath and reset. Why don't you come take us through these last 15 minutes of this tornado warning, and then I'll be back there backing you up to see what we need. Do you want to go ahead and take something full here? Go ahead and take one full for her, and we'll keep tracking that.
No, that'll be perfect. So we are watching, again, this tornado warning that has just been extended into Pendleton County, and you can see just how much lightning is included with this. You can see where that tornado polygon is right now. That is in Pendleton County, and that is expected to last until 4:45. Radar indicated right now. We can zoom into a couple of features here and look a little bit closer at the exact area. Not looking like a ton here on our debris signatures, but we can look at our velocity couplet, and this will really show, wow, look at that rotation we have going on right now. Again, if you are in the Falmouth area, that is heading right towards you right now. You have a couple of minutes. Take shelter right now. Make sure you're in your safe place, because again, this is heading right towards you as we move into the next couple of minutes. You can see that, again, that couplet here where the reds and the greens, those are intersecting, and that's what we are watching out for here over the next couple of minutes. Again, that rotation is what we have been watching through the storm for the last few hours here, and this storm has continued to rotate and produce tornado warnings, and that is now in Pendleton County, and that is going to last until 4:45. That is, again, radar indicated. If we take a look at the bigger picture here, you can see across the tri-state that tornado warning in Adams County has expired. We have a significant stretch of flash flood warnings. That's for the entire central portion of our viewing area. And if we look down to the south, that's where we're seeing this tornado warning again in Pendleton County. They are now extending this severe thunderstorm warning. Bracken, Grant, Pendleton, heading into Robertson as well. It has that tornado possible tag on them. Is, again, radar indicated. That is for now Maysville, Georgetown. You're seeing that severe thunderstorm warning. Considerable damage is expected with this. That's going to last until 5:30. Bracken, Brown, Mason, again, seeing that severe thunderstorm warning now extended into your area, and that is radar indicated. Wind speeds 70 miles per hour, 3/4 inch size hail you could be seeing over the next couple of minutes here. We do have this active tornado warning that is in Pendleton heading towards Falmouth right now, and again, that could very well be extended in the next couple of minutes here to go into Robertson and our other counties near Maysville, heading towards Georgetown as well. So that's something we're watching out for. We can really zoom in to our debris signature to see if this is actively on the ground now. We're going to zoom down to where we see Falmouth, and this is where that debris, that velocity couplet is. That's where we're seeing the tornado warning. We're not seeing that debris signature. That doesn't mean nothing is spinning out there. It just means that it might not be on the ground yet. So make sure you're taking cover out there. If you're near Falmouth, if you're near Bachelor's Rest, 22, we can zoom in and see some of these other roads here, 27 as well. Four Oaks, seeing that area, Berlin, and heading it towards, again, the area of Brooksville. You can see that heading towards Maysville as well with that severe thunderstorm warning being extended. We actually now have an update. You can see this pink or purple color here that is a severe thunderstorm warning. Bracken, Claremont, Pendleton County. This threat is now destructive. You can see that is radar indicated 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this. Definitely could knock down tree limbs, throw debris around. So make sure you are in your safe place right now. If you're near Foster, heading towards Georgetown, starting to see an update there as well. Foster, Augusta, Brooksville, this is heading straight towards you right now. 10, 9, 8. You're seeing that storm system 52 as well. Browning Corner, seeing some heavy downpours here, also included in that tornado warning. Again, that's heading towards the Brooksville area right now, and that is in Pendleton County. So we have that tornado warning, and overlaid on top of it, we have that severe thunderstorm warning for Bracken, Claremont, Pendleton County that is now labeled as a destructive threat. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts out there, or sustained winds. You're seeing them probably gust a little stronger than that. Hail size 3/4 inch, so a very strong, significant storm out there. And this isn't the last of it. We're continuing to see that rain again push in from Indiana, and you can see a tornado warning well off to our west there. Not dealing with that over in Adams County anymore, dealing with flash flood warnings in the central portion of the viewing area, and down to the south in northern Kentucky. Again, Pendleton County, make sure you're taking shelter. You're seeing that tornado warning. You're seeing that severe thunderstorm warning with that destructive tag on it. This is a very significant storm that is pushing through the area right now. I'm going to put a query on this so we can see what's going on. Again, Brooksville, Butler, Falmouth, Foster. This is going to be in effect till 5:15. Bracken, Claremont, Robertson County, as well as Pendleton, seeing that destructive threat. Again, radar indicated wind gust 80 miles an hour, so a very strong storm heading this way right now. So if you're, again, 1052, 165, again, that is heading your way. The Falmouth area, seeing the stronger portion of the storm right now, again, in Pendleton County. We can zoom in. You can see in the next couple of minutes here, this will be out of the Falmouth area, out of Fort Oaks, heading towards, again, seeing stronger portions of this in Berlin now, heading into a different county. We're seeing this going towards Bracken County, Claremont as well, again, with that destructive tag on it. We still do have that tornado warning for Pendleton County. And again, we can zoom back in to where we were looking at just a second ago, where we were seeing if there was anything being lofted in the air, any debris out there. It's not looking like we have a very clear definition of what that would look like, but definitely very strong wind gusts out there. So you could definitely see some things flying around, trash cans, broken limbs for sure. We have a lot of damage reports out there. But if we zoom in on our velocity, you can definitely see that velocity couplet there, where the green and the red are kind of intersecting and kind of circling around each other. That's where we see that rotation right now. Again, inside of that tornado warning, just outside of Falmouth now, heading towards Brooksville, Browning Corner. So make sure you're taking shelter right now in a safe place with no windows, the basement, maybe a bathroom. Make sure you're up and getting ready again for this tornado warning. This could be extended here in the next couple of minutes. We're watching out for that. We can